Nice to meet you, Gary. I'm Maisha, a process operator and apprentice here at the APTUS programme.
Hi, I'm Gary. I'm one of the TAR event leads in the office. I used to work offshore, so hopefully I've got some good answers for you today.
Can you take us back to the 2000s and tell us a little bit about what your apprenticeship was like back then?
So slightly different maybe now. When I applied, it was open. There was no disciplines, so I didn't know if I was going to be an instrument technician or an electrician or a production operator. So I did a full year of trying different taster sessions to see what I liked, and at the end I got to apply for the one that I liked the most, and it was a production technician. I moved away from home at 17, so I moved down to Grangemouth. BP had their own apprentice programme down there at the time, so slightly different. I think you did yours in Aberdeen. So I spent 3 years down there doing it on the on-site training, and then moved offshore when I was 20.
What made you choose process other compared to like electrical or mechanical?
It was busy. There was different things to do, and trying something different, pushing my boundaries a little bit to try something new. And there was 20 of us at the time. There was only 3 electrical jobs, and the rest were all production technicians. So that was the one that I went for.
Okay. What inspired you to pursue a career offshore?
I won't lie, it was probably the time off and the money. Plus, where I grew up, there was a lot of people in the oil industry. I had a lot of family in the oil industry as well, so it seemed like a good place to go and push myself and try something exciting.
Were there any standout moments or challenges during your apprenticeship that shaped your career?
I think being an apprentice, you go straight into like working in the big bad world, if you like, meeting new people, loads of different types of people. So not just in the kind of the core operations team, but you meet loads of different people from different walks of life, from different parts of the country, different parts of the world. So gaining their experience was probably one of the good things. There's not many challenges stand out, but meeting so many people offshore and gaining their experience. When I started offshore, there was a lot of older people with lots of experience, so just getting to spend time with them, and if you show keen, they are more than welcome, and they'll tell you everything, not just about work, they'll tell you about everything in life. They'll make sure if you're sorted financially, you've got the right pension, you've got the right savings, so it's more than just working. They definitely look after you when you're offshore.
Why do you believe apprenticeships are still important in today's energy sector?
I think that experience piece, getting hands-on experience as soon as you can, to build your career. You can learn lots of different things about offshore, the process, where the oil goes, where the gas goes, how we get it out of the ground. You learn so much. You can learn that onshore in a university type programme, but getting the hands-on experience, it helps really build your career from an early stage. I
agree with that. What do you think apprenticeships offer that most traditional academic routes don't?
I think again the hands-on experience, and as soon as you can get that experience on whatever site you're working, it'll help build your career from there. It's straight into employment as well. Normally you've got an easier route, or a better route into employment. And I mean, I've been with BP now for more than 20 years, so it really helps build a good foundation, and you can build on from there. Sometimes maybe from university you hear of people looking for jobs for a year or taking a year out, but with this career route, you're straight in life offshore. And
so you definitely recommend it?
Definitely, yeah. I don't look back at all.
How do apprenticeships help build confidence and resilience in young professionals?
I think working with the different types of people, so you can be working with somebody that's close to your own age, or somebody that's maybe old enough to be one of your parents, or an auntie or uncle, and they all treat you the same. They welcome you into the family offshore, which is great, and it really helps settle your nerves when you first offshore, and you come up against challenging times together. So the resilience, there might be a production upset or something that you're working on together, and you learn off each other. Learning off their experiences is great. Again, there's so many different types of people with different experience. They'll have seen different things before offshore, but anytime anything happens, whether it's a planned activity or unplanned activity, you get to learn so much stuff.
Perfect. So you started as an apprentice and worked your way up to OIM, which is the most senior role offshore. What would you say before transitioning to your onshore role were some key steps in your career journey?
Being ready for the next steps, knowing what opportunities are there for you. And also one of the best bits of advice I got was knowing what you don't want to do, because there's a career path that you can take in different steps, but knowing which ones you don't want is sometimes more important than knowing what you do want to go. So ruling out, for me just now, I could maybe move abroad and work in a different region, but I don't want to do that because I've got a young family. But knowing where you don't want, there's so much opportunity out there. For me, one of the key ones as well is being ready for that next step. So if you finally realise where you do want to go, being ready for that next step. So having the training in place, or having experience, step up, exposure. Just being ready, so when that opportunity comes, grab it with both hands.
What do you think of someone who's scared about making that move, or like taking that step forward in their career? What would one advice you would give to them? Go
for it. That's some of the advice I got as well, is I don't know how I could do that, or I'm not sure about that, and be like, just go for it. If it's something you want to do, go for it. Grab the opportunity with both hands. That's what I've always said.
Were there any pivotal decisions or mentors that helped your progress?
I had maybe 3 or 4 people that stand out for me that went through the apprenticeship programme as well, and all worked up to OIM, and some of them are now APMs with BP here as well. Given the same, I guess the same advice I might be giving you just now, but they've been through the same career path, and just listening to what they've got to say, and they encourage you as well, not just making suggestions of what to do next or what else you could do, but encouraging you and pushing you on to do well.
Were there any defining moments that highlighted the importance of your role working offshore?
I think probably during COVID, it was known as a key worker. It was a different time, I think, for everybody. But I was actually offshore when lockdown started, so coming back onshore to empty streets and things was quite different. That was one experience, and also on that, the gas that the platform I was on that was supplying, the government asked to make sure we kept online because there was possibly a shortage in supplies, and that really highlighted how key the sector was at that time.
How did your own early hands-on experience influence your leadership role?
I think because I've worked with so many different people, I maybe picked up little pieces of leadership skills from different people, and I've maybe seen some that I didn't want to pick up as well. I think I'm quite calm and laid back, so having that confidence when you're doing different tasks offshore, having the confidence, and that helps me kind of maybe look relaxed on the outside.
Yeah. What are the top 3 items that you would recommend for someone who's going offshore for the first time?
Top 3 items. Headphones, so you can listen to your own music or podcasts, and you can switch off. A phone charger, because you don't want to be borrowing somebody else, because they'll be doing the same. A third one, maybe a book or something as well for the chopper flight, because you'll have nothing else available to you, phone or iPad or anything, so having something to read on the flight can help pass the time. What are you most looking forward to about going offshore?
I'm excited to meet a lot of new faces and different characters to help me with my journey, and because I do think I missed out on that just because I did stay at home during the first 2 years of my apprenticeship, and just to see where it takes me, as I am really invested and interested into the industry. And
where do you think you'll see yourself in like 10 years time or
I
15, 20
hope
years time?
To be working I want to go through the trainee technician scheme and hopefully continue with that and see where it takes me. I do want to still be working with BP because I have noticed that everyone is just really, like, it's a wholesome team, and like everyone knows each other, and I quite like that. And it's not, you'd think it's like a corporate job and like it's all divided, but everyone seems very close and like know each other, so I'm really looking forward to that part.
Yeah, it's good. I was offshore for nearly 20 years and then moved to the onshore role, so it's good to be able to use my connections and stuff from offshore.
So you obviously worked offshore for 20 years. What was the transition like moving back onshore?
The biggest bit was not having as much time off, but I offset that with having every weekend off, being home in my own bed every night and spending time with my young family. So that was probably going to be the biggest change, but I've not missed the time off, maybe now and again, but not as much as being home every night with the family. So I spent 20 years offshore, and there wasn't too many females when I first started, but over that time the number of females has increased in the industry. How do you feel about being a female heading offshore?
I think it is quite a special moment for me to be heading offshore, especially as a girl, just because I do know that it is a male-dominated industry, and I think it's important to, as the years go by, to make sure that girls are joining the energy industry. For the future, I think being part of the energy sector and seeing how it is ever-changing, and it does change every year, and I think it's quite important to be part of it as a girl as well, and hopefully we'll see more women offshore in the next 20 years.
So Maisha, what was it inspired you to follow the apprenticeship programme?
I had done a course in school, and it was something that none of my friends ever chose, so I did kind of like I did move away from the crowd. I wasn't sure what I was going to do in the future, but I knew I wanted to do an apprenticeship, and so my lecturer at the time suggested this programme, so it just intrigued me a lot. Not so much of my family are in the energy industry. I guess it is like I'm the first one, so it does interest me, and it is something new. All my friends are off to uni, and I just wasn't sure if I really wanted to go to uni. An apprenticeship really just, like, it did spark interest in me, and I knew I wanted to do it. I've said since I was little I wanted to do an apprenticeship, just didn't know what in. And then the course that I was doing, they were doing electrical based stuff and process based stuff, and when I had joined the APTUS program and looked through, it was an option, and I was like, this is for me, so I went and applied, and I've been enjoying it, and I'm glad to be here. Good. Do you remember the exact moment when you got selected for your apprenticeship?
Yeah, because it was so long ago, there was no email, so I had that letter through the post. I remember it coming through and opening the letter to say that I'd been successful in the job, and it was the one job I wanted. I'd applied once before, but never made it through the process. So I went back to school for another year, studied chemistry, which was an extra thing that I had to go through, and got it the second time lucky. So yeah, absolutely delighted that I managed to get it, because it was the one thing that I wanted. I wasn't sure what else I was going to do. So do you remember that feeling that you had when you found out that you'd been successful in the programme?
Yeah, when I got an email sent through, and I was over the moon. I think I started crying because I was so shocked. Not because I didn't expect it, it's because I really, really wanted to go ahead with this apprenticeship, and I knew I was leaving school in 5th year, so I was like, there's no backing out now. This is my only option, and I was just so glad to have gotten accepted, and I was just excited to see what the future was with joining APTUS, and then now here at BP it's really paid off, and I'm really glad.
Did you choose production, or did you?
Yeah, that was my first option, so I was glad to have gotten my first option.
Why production?
Mechanical was an option, but it just didn't really, I feel like I'm not built for a mechanic, but it was between being a sparky, it was between electrical and process, and I saw more opportunities with being a process technician, and I knew there was a lot of people going to do electrical, so I knew there would be a bit of a challenge, and so it just interests me, the whole process of your line walks and your drawings and the whole plant, getting to know the whole plant. That's really something that intrigues me, so I think that's why I went ahead for a process technician.
Do you know anybody else that's a production technician that's done it before? Or?
Not previously.
No.
This was something very new for me, and again, none of my friends have done it. No, my family haven't done an apprenticeship in the oil and gas sector either. I think that helps as well with learning. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to want to get to know the platforms and everything, and I've enjoyed it so far, and I think I will enjoy it.
What do all your friends think about you following a different apprenticeship programme and heading offshore?
It's definitely something very different, and they're very proud of me, especially with me going offshore in a couple of days. It's something that's different for them as well. They don't really know that like life offshore or anything. So them hearing it from me, it does feel a bit surreal to them, but they are extremely proud of me. And
Is there anything you'll miss out on when you're offshore that your friends will do?
I think at the moment there's a lot of birthdays coming up and just like celebrations that I'll be missing, but I've always said I'll always come back and we can just catch up and just do it again afterwards.
Are you due to be offshore for Christmas or New Year this year?
I have Christmas off, but I'm there for New Year's. So
how do you feel about missing out at that time of year?
it hasn't really hit me yet. I think in the next couple of months it will hit, but I think for the longest time this is what I've wanted to do, so I'm just glad to be out there and just gain some experience.
Everybody will be the same boat, so it's like one big family offshore at Christmas and New Year time. The food's absolutely amazing. There'll be loads of competitions and quizzes and stuff to keep me occupied, so I'm sure it'll be fun.
Well, thank you, Gary, for your time and helping out with this interview today. It was really nice to meet you.
Nice to talk to you as well. All the very best when you go offshore.
Thank you.